Incoming transmission.
Picture this. A recording studio somewhere far, far away.
Welcome, Watchers of Illusion, to my Castle of Confusion on the 27th of September, and I'm looking at a Disney game. It's Beauty and the Beast, Roar of the Beast. Great title, that. By Sunsoft, released in 1993, and it's for the Sega Mega Drive. Isn't he a handsome chap? So, there's 3 buttons, that's all there is to it, ladies and gentlemen. So if you've got a 6-button pad, you've got 3 that aren't even in use. So there you go. So let's get stuck in. I don't even know if this follows the film. Now, the very strange thing about this is it was released 2 years after the film, the original Beauty and the Beast film was released, which is kind of a bit out of sorts, really, isn't it? It's a bit late. You'd think they would have released it, you know, to coincide with. Now, this is one of 2 games. The other one is Belle's Quest. I really don't know. No, I really have no idea. So this one, obviously, we're going to be playing as the Beast. Bit of a lengthy intro here, but here we go. It's all very nicely. You can tell straight away that it's Disney. You can tell straight away that it's Beauty and the Beast, which is great. What I don't get here is that apparently the castle is infiltrated by loads of enchanted creatures. Why didn't he just shut the door? Anyway. Let's have a play with this, because I've never played this before, and I always seem to steer towards games that are more orientated for adults. But let's have a look at one of these that, technically we should be looking at something that's fairly simple for children to play. That's quite cool. You can, so you've got like a punch button, and if you crouch down, is that going to kill me? Oh, that hurts. You can crouch. Yeah, you can crouch and bite, and then you can punch. And it seems to be if you hold down the fire button, you get to do like a big swipey punch. Hey! But before we get to the controls and everything else, let's have a look at the graphics, because by God, they're lovely. Look at the animation on it all. It's really nice. That's a random bear in the castle. Look at the graphics are absolutely fantastic on this game. Oh, and I'm dead. Well, that lasted a long time. Right. A temporary setback, eh? Alright, well, let's crack on again, shall we? It's going to start from the beginning. I thought it might. So, yes. Graphically, it's lovely. Absolutely lovely. That mouse just disappeared completely. So, yeah, you can punch, you can bite, and you can do this sort of like jumpy pounce thing. Very, very similar to the Lion King. On the same systems, so there we are. He sort of prowls around, which is quite nice. The animation on the cloak's really cool as well, actually. When he does his punching, big punches, the cloak sort of swirls with him, which is great. The only thing is, I seem to be losing a lot of health very, very quickly, and this is supposed to be designed for the younger audience. Now, I would actually go on a limb and say that this is actually a bit too hard for kids. It's actually quite hard for me, but we all know how I am with these sort of games. Anyway, your health is denoted up the top there by those mirrors. I have like 1.5 mirrors left. 2 lives, as you can see, with the beast's head underneath. A score in the top right, and how many roars you've got left. Now, if you do a roar, it will freeze everything on the screen. It's not really much point, to be quite honest with you. It's very sort of samey as well. I mean, this is one hell of a long corridor we're going down, but he hasn't even got the cleaners in. A lot of it is memory. Oh god, dead again. A lot of this is memory as well, except for bosses. Apparently the bosses can be randomised in their attack patterns, so you can't really learn them either, which is a bit of a shame. That's just from a little bit of research, because, well, I'm not going to have time to go through too much of this game. I mean, I just absolutely love the presentation. it's quality. This is by the same guys that did Batman on the NES, and that was a bloody good game as well. This, unfortunately, misses the mark. It's very, very easy to die, which is a shame because it could be so much better. It's very sort of mundane. Same scenery over and over again. And it's very short as well. There's only 4 levels, which is very short for a game, to be quite honest with you. But there you go. But they've done a good job animation-wise and graphic-wise. And the sound, I don't know. I've never really enjoyed the Mega Drive sound chip. It just sounds meh. The SNES had a nice punchy sound chip in it, which made everything sound, you know, beefy, and this just sounds tinny, unfortunately. I don't know whether it's the game or whether it's just the system itself, but there's some nice renditions of the Beauty and the Beast music in here, so that's quite a nice little feature, I suppose. Controls are fairly simple: left, right, up, down, punch. Oh, I'm dead again. Punch, jump, and roar. That's all you've got to really remember. The main problem for me is this difficulty level. But hey ho. So I've got no lives left. I've got 4 health thingies. Let's see how quickly we can get. Oh, I've lost one already. This is really weird because sometimes they take half of a mirror and other times they take a full set. That pounce seems to be quite powerful as well. Managed to get that. Oh, that bloody spider. There we go. So yeah, there you go. That nice cape animation there. It's absolutely brilliant. Playability. I mean, it's playable. It's very repetitive. And I wouldn't think that a younger player would enjoy this too much. I think they get frustrated with dying very, very quickly. And what you got to remember is as well, okay, see, saying cartridge games were very expensive in the UK, probably in the States as well, and everywhere else. On average, a new cartridge game would cost you in the region of about £45 to £50. Now that's a lot of money, if you think about it. You go to the shop and you spend £50 on a game, come home, fire it up, and then you can't get anywhere with it because it's too damn hard. That's just a waste of cash. I remember Primal Rage being an example of that back when I had my Super Nintendo, and I went out and I thought, this looks really cool. Got it home and it was a bag of poo. So yeah, you have to be really careful with purchases. And back then, of course, the internet didn't exist, so you couldn't have a sort of a preview on a ROM cartridge or anything like that, or a ROM file. So it was literally pot luck. There's only like Electronics Boutique, because yes, we had Electronics Boutique back in the day. I used to work there, and they would have a 10-day return policy, which a lot of people made full use of, I have to say. But it was companies like that actually helped gamers get the games they wanted, not the games that they were forced onto them. There were companies that wouldn't refund games just because they were rubbish. I think that's a bit of a harsh call, to be honest with you, because when you're spending so much money on a game, if it does turn out to be utter tripe, then you're going to want to go and get your money back and get something that you do want. Yes. So there we are. Age range. This is a difficult one because it looks like it's designed for little kids, but it really it's not. It's not, and it could have been and should have been, but it's not. Even adults would actually struggle with this one. The main criticism of the game in the reviews as well was the fact that it was too damn hard. It's just silly. It's Beauty and the Beast, for God's sakes, you know, not Metal Gear Solid. So I don't know. It's a shame. I mean, the enemies are varied. They look nice, and the colours and everything else pop, which is quite nice for a Mega Drive because sometimes they look a bit washed out. But there you go. It's a platformer, side-scrolling, with elements of beat 'em ups in there. Obviously, the Beast hates all the creatures of the forest, so he's just going to pound them to death. Not quite sure that was in the film, but there you go. Lots of variation on the enemies to a degree. We've got bats, we've got snakes, we've got bears, we've got spiders. That's about it. So I suppose this is quite varied. There we go. Big swipey punch. I don't actually know if that actually does more damage or not, but you'd hope so. I think one of the problems I would have with that particular attack is that by the time you've wound it up to attack them, they've probably hit you. The bite doesn't seem to be any more powerful than just punching them. So it's just easier to just punch them. Light punch, it's quite easy. You just tap the button. If you want to do a long punch, hold the button down. Simples. So yeah, there we go. And I'm a massive fan of Beauty and the Beast. I absolutely love the Disney movie Beauty and the Beast. The remake was alright. The original cartoon was amazing. Same with Aladdin. The original cartoon was fantastic. The remake, not so much. But it was alright. Anyway, I'm not doing film reviews. Oh god, dead again. You're going to see this screen a lot, and you're going to hear this little tune a lot. Just get used to it, because there's nothing you can do about it. It does take a few seconds to load in as well, which is strange. It's a cartridge game, but there we are. It's only a one-player game. I don't really think they could have done anything with this. 2 players wouldn't have worked, unless you had Belle riding around on the beast, and you could just throw stuff from his shoulders, perhaps. But no. Replay factor, well, you might come back to it. But if you get so frustrated with it, you're probably not going to come back to this. I personally would not be playing this again. It's a shame because it could have been so much better. You know, look at Aladdin, look at The Lion King, and then you look at this. Yes. Looks-wise, great. Gameplay, not so much. Sound-wise is alright. Music's quite nice. The sound effects are very mediocre. And that's about it, really. So, there you go. I just did a raw. Enjoy. Anyway, you keep it retro, guys, and I'll catch you next review. Bye for now.